So you're trying to keep up with sports, right? Cut through the noise, get to what really matters.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive on something that really shook things up earlier this year in the NBA.
The Luka Doncic trade from
Yeah,
Dallas to the Lakers.
exactly, that trade. But we're actually looking beyond just the trade itself, focusing on a pretty bold prediction about his future there.
Right, the chatter hasn't really stopped since he landed in L.A. And we're honing in on ESPN's Kendrick Perkins specifically.
Yeah.
He came out with a really strong statement recently.
What did he say?
He basically said, and this is a quote, Luka Doncic will never play for another franchise, period. He went on, once you get in a Lakers uniform, you're there. He will retire as a Laker, period.
Wow, never, period. Retire a Laker. That's pretty definitive. Doesn't leave much room for doubt, does it?
Not at all. Super emphatic.
Okay, so for everyone listening, our mission here is to kind of unpack why Perkins feels so strongly about this, what's behind that conviction, and then, crucially, look at the actual contract situation Luke is facing.
Yeah, because predictions are one thing, contracts are another.
Yeah.
We're using a Yardbarker article that picked up Perkins' comments from ESPN, and also some key details from ESPN's Bobby Marks. He tweeted some contract specifics.
Perfect. Okay, let's dig in. Perkins' reasoning. He said, history tells us that. Once you get in a Lakers uniform, you're there. What do you make of that reliance on history?
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? He's putting enormous weight on just being a Laker, the history, the legacy. He seems to think that joining that specific team creates this bond that players just don't want to break.
It's hard to argue with the history itself. I mean, you think Magic, Kareem, Kobe, LeBron.
Right. The list goes on.
There's definitely a unique aura around that franchise, a history of winning, of huge stars. Perkins seems to believe that pull is just overwhelming, maybe enough to keep a player there for good. Plus the off-court stuff, right? Endorsements, profile.
That's got to be part of it for sure. The LA market, the Lakers brand,
Yeah.
it amplifies everything. But, okay, let's connect that historical vibe with the, practical side, the contract.
Yeah, the Yardbarker piece mentioned his player option. He could actually become a free agent in summer 2027 if he wanted to.
Which puts the ball firmly in his court, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He gets to decide. Stay or test the market.
And the article also flagged that he's eligible to sign an extension before that, summer 2025. That sounds like a huge moment coming up.
It really is. And that's where Bobby Marks' insights become really important. He tweeted about this back in February, laying out some scenarios.
What did Mark say?
Okay, first big thing. A supermax extension, the absolute top dollar deal. It's apparently off the table for Doncic right now.
Okay. Why is that? Is it timing or?
Yeah, likely due to the specifics of when he was traded or maybe not hitting certain criteria just yet under the league rules for that kind of deal. It gets technical. But the point is that specific type of max isn't available to him from the Lakers right now.
Got it. So no supermax. But didn't Marks also say something about him actually making more money in the long run anyway? How does that work?
Right, that's the interesting part. It seems to come down to the timing of a new deal. Marks basically highlighted that if Luka doesn't sign an extension in August 2025, so next summer, then the financial edge the Lakers have over other teams, teams with cap space in 2026, that advantage gets pretty small.
Ah, okay. So if he waits until he could potentially be a free agent in 26, other teams could throw almost the same amount of money at him as the Lakers could at that point.
Pretty much. The Lakers' biggest leverage, Marks suggests, is that fifth year.
Fifth year?
Yeah, on an extension signed this coming summer in 2025. League rules let the current team, the Lakers, offer one extra guaranteed year compared to what any other team could offer if he waited until free agency later.
Okay, I see. So that extra year of guaranteed money, security, that's the main financial carrot the Lakers can dangle, but they need him to bite in summer 2025?
Exactly. If he signs the extension then, he likely gets that longer deal, potentially more overall guaranteed money than waiting. If he waits, the year-to-year offers from other teams in 26 might look very similar financially speaking, apart from that potential fifth year.
So, wow, you've got Perkins saying, it's the Lakers, history, he's staying.
Yeah, the legacy argument.
But then you've got Marks laying out these contract details that show there's a really specific, fairly soon decision point, summer 2025, where the Lakers have their strongest financial advantage.
It's a classic clash, isn't it? The
Yeah.
sort of mystique of the franchise versus the hard numbers and timelines of the collective bargaining agreement.
So let's think about it from Luka's side. What's going through his head? It can't just be the money or even just the history, right?
No way. Winning has to be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the team's potential? Are they building a real contender around him? That's got to weigh heavily.
Absolutely. How they perform next season could be massive for his thinking.
And just, how does he feel there? Does he like living in LA? Does he click with the front office, the coach, his teammates? That personal comfort matters a lot too.
It's a whole package deal. You see this with stars all the time, weighing up the chance to win, the money, the lifestyle, the legacy. It's complex.
Definitely. Think about any number of stars facing free agency or extension talks. They're always juggling those factors. Championship aspirations versus maybe a preferred location or a bigger paycheck. It's rarely simple.
And just to quickly mention, that Yard Barker piece we're referencing, it actually came from Fast Break on SI originally, then got picked up widely.
Right. Shows how much attention this whole situation is getting.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching Luka and the Lakers.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Key takeaways. Perkins is all in on the Lakers' historical pull, keeping Luka there forever.
A very strong history-based prediction.
But the contract reality, especially highlighted by Bobby Marks, points to this really critical decision coming up in summer 2025 about an extension.
Yep. And the Lakers' main financial leverage is tied to getting that extension done then, primarily because of that potential fifth year they can offer.
So the big question for everyone listening is still kind of hanging there, is that Lakers' legacy, plus the chance for maybe a longer, richer deal signed soon, going to be enough to make Perkins right? Will Luka really stay a Laker for his whole career?
It's the million-dollar, well, multi-million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe a final thought to leave people with.
Yeah.
Think about that mix. Legacy, loyalty, finances, winning potential. How they all swirl together in these massive career decisions for athletes.
Yeah, it's not just Luka. How often do we see these same forces playing out across different sports? It makes you think about what truly motivates players at that elite level.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's rarely just one thing. And watching how Luka navigates this next year or so, it's going to be absolutely fascinating.